Hello friends, in this session we will discuss isometric projection of the frustum of the pyramid. Read the question. A pentagonal pyramid side of base 30 mm and height 65 mm stands with its base on HP. So standing with its base on HP, top view is our pentagon and position of pentagon is an edge of the base is parallel to VP. One edge must be parallel to VP and nearer to it, nearer to VP. So in this case, one edge is parallel to VP, that same edge will become perpendicular to HP. After the rotation of 90 degree in clockwise direction, that particular edge becomes parallel to XY and must be nearer to XY. A horizontal section plane cuts the pyramid and passes through a point on the axis 25 mm from the apex. Being the frustum solid, section plane must be parallel to the base or parallel to XY. That's why here it is horizontal section plane. Passes through a point on the axis 25 mm from the apex, from point O dash or from the top. Draw the isometric projection of the frustum of the pyramid. Now you can draw the simple position of pentagon. Simple position of pentagon, one edge which is parallel to XY, at the same time it is nearer to XY, and side it is 30 mm, given notations as A, B, C, D and E, where D and E is the edge which is parallel to XY and nearer to XY, being the top view as pentagon and also being a pyramid. We can see all the slant edges in the top view. Identify the apex or vertex point O and join all the slant edges OA, OB, OC, OD and OE by means of thin lines. After the completion of thick line, we can identify what is the removed and remaining portion. After identifying the remaining portion, we can convert the slant edges into continuous thick lines. Now you can extend the projectors from the corners of top view, all the corners of top view, and to find the front view with the help of axis height as 65 mm. Axis height as 65 mm. Here OB is the slant edge which is exactly on the axis. No need to draw the axis representation. We can go for continuous thin line and join all the respective projectors to complete the front view. Here D and E is the corner. D corner as well as E corner is the invisible corners as an observer standing here, and this D and E is invisible. That's why it is marked by means of a hidden lines. And for while marking the notations, D dash and E dash must be in the bracket because of hidden corners. Now we can go for the section plane condition. 25 mm from the apex. O dash is the apex or vertex. From that we can take 25 mm, complete the section plane. Being first term, section plane is parallel to its base, so this is our section plane. Convert it into section plane representation. Now you can identify the cutting points of the section plane. This is point number 1. On the O dash and A dash, you can extend a projector, perpendicular projector, until it cuts the corresponding slant edge OA in the top view. O dash A dash in the front view, extend a projector until it cuts corresponding slant edge OA in the top view. Next is O dash B dash. That's the second cutting point, but still it is perpendicular to XY. We have to extend the projector until it cuts the O dash A dash outermost slant edge. Here it is, the section plane is already extended. So we can take O as center, 1 as radius, draw an arc to cut OB. Make it as point number 2. 2 dash in the front view, 2 in the top view. Next case, O dash C dash. Here it is the 3 dash cutting point. Now you can extend the projector from O dash C dash, 3 dash. Corresponding slant edge on the top view is OC. Make it as 3. Similarly, we can complete for O dash D dash, it is 4 dash. So from 4 dash, we can extend the projector until it touches OD. It is point number 4. And 5 dash is on O dash E dash, so you can extend the projector to the corresponding slant edge in the top view is OE. So this is our OE, so you can extend the projector from 5 dash. Now it is 5. So you can join all these cutting points of the section plane in the top view and do a hatching for that. This entire top view is called the sectional top view, but we have to convert the remaining portion into thick lines, remaining portion of the solid into thick lines after doing the hatching. Hatching must be followed by uniform distance between the lines and representation is a thin line. Now the remaining portion of the solid, we can see the bottom, the surface solid below the section plane is the remaining portion. So we can convert the remaining portion of the solid into continuous thick lines. Similarly, you can check in the top view. Here 1 dash to A dash is the remaining portion, 1 dash to O dash is the removed portion. So we have to convert 1 dash to A dash into continuous thick lines in top view. So 1A is the remaining portion. Similarly 2B, 5E, 4D. You can check clearly this 5E is the remaining portion. 4D is the remaining portion. Similarly 3C and 2B. So these are the remaining portion of the solid must be converted into continuous thick lines. Now we have to move on to isometric projection. In isometric projection, always whatever may be the surface of the solid, plane surface of the solid, here the pentagon is the plane surface, it must be converted into a rectangular box on the outer corners. By joining the outer corners, form a rectangular box and give a name. Being pyramid, always we have only a base as pentagon. Here this frustum solid, after the removed portion, I will get one more pentagon, this small pentagon in the top view. So far that we are going to identify or consider like this as a prism where we are having top face as well as bottom face. It will be easy for us to solve during the isometric projection. If it is two face, bottom face and top face, we can make it as PP1. So P1, P1 is the bottom face and P is the top face of pentagon corner, rectangle corner. So Q1, R1, and here it is SS1. After forming a rectangle joining the corners of pentagon, we can draw one small reference line. Now either you can fix the P corner or Q corner, because already the section plane condition is parallel to its base. So either we can go for P or Q. So I would like to fix P here, point P, and convert the distance. What distance? PS and PQ. P1 S1 and P1 Q1. P1 S1 and P1 Q1. Here this is the isometric length. We have to follow isometric scale. Say for an example, here it is 50 mm, 50 into 0.82 times. So foreshortened by 0.82 times is the isometric scale. So we have to convert every measurement of this simple position of the solid has to be converted into multiplied by 0.82 times to draw the isometric projection, foreshortened by 0.82 times. So for our better understanding, I have drawn somehow the dimensions higher than this one, but in your practical case, always remember this is the true length of the rectangle. Here it should be the foreshortened one by 0.82 times. For example, if it is 100 mm, here you will have to draw for 82. All the dimensions must be converted to 0.82 times. Here P1, Q1 and P1 S1 must be 30-degree inclined to this reference line. 30-degree. Equally inclined. Isometric. Iso means equal. So metric measurement equally inclined. So P1 S1 also 30-degree. P1 Q1 must be 30-degree incline, and P1 S1 length has to be measured from this rectangle. Afterwards, we have to convert that measurement into multiplied by 0.82 times. And similarly for P1 Q1 can be measured from this rectangle and convert into 0.82 times. So once again I repeat, this For considering being the first problem, I used enlarged dimensions in this isometric projection. Always remember this isometric projection of this particular rectangle will be the foreshortened one by 0.82 times, which will be a reduction in length in the isometric projection. Now P1, S1, Q1, three corners are joined. The remaining is R1. So for identifying R1, either we can fix S1 as center, this R1 as radius, and convert into 0.82 times, fix S1 as center, R1 as radius, draw an arc. Similarly, Q1 as center and again R1 as radius. Here Q1 as center, again R1 as radius, cut an arc. Both will meet at one point, make it as R1. Otherwise, simply you can draw a line using measurement parallel to this P1 S1 and Q1 R1 and P1 Q1 as S1 R1. So this must be equally inclined 30 degree. P1 S1 and P1 Q1 must be 30 degree inclined to this reference line. Now the bottom face rectangle is completed. P1 Q1 R1 S1 is the bottom face rectangle. Top face is PQRS. For that we have to draw the slant edge length. Slant edge length here, as I clearly mentioned, being frustum of solid of pyramid, so we have to consider this as like a prism. So you can take this axis height 65 mm. This 65 where our section plane is located at 25 from the top. So 65 minus subtract 65, 25 from 65, it is 40. Now you can convert that 40 into isometric length 0.82 times, draw a projectors from all the corners. So 40 into 0.82 times, draw a projectors from all the corners of rectangle P1, Q1, R1 and S1. Now you can join all these things, nothing but PQ and RS. PQ, RS. So from this we can identify the top face of the rectangle PQRS. We can join all these things as PQRS. Now this top face rectangle has been completed. Now I have to reproduce this pentagon from here. Not exactly reproducing. This true length must be converted into isometric length. So where point A is located, you can check from P1 S1. I'm having point A. P1 S1, I'm having point A. So you can measure the distance from P1 to A, convert that length into isometric scale 0.82 times, multiply by 0.82 times, fix A. Next one is point B, which is the midpoint of P1 Q1. So you can take the midpoint of P1 Q1, mark point B. Next one, in Q1 R1 we are having point C. In Q1 R1 we are having point C. Here it is Q1 and this is R1. Measure the distance of C from Q1. C from Q1 and convert into isometric scale and mark point C here. After marking point C, next is D. So where is D? On R1 and S1 we are having D as well as E. You measure the distance from R1 for D and distance from S1 for E. You can measure from, refer here, S1. So E from S1 and D from R1. That specific length may not be used exactly here. You must be converted into isometric scale multiplied by 0.82 times. Now this ABCDE, the top face, bottom face base pentagon is identified. Now we have to identify this cut section pentagon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for that we may not draw exactly here because we may not know these 1, 2, 3, 4 points how to locate in this top face rectangle. For that we can draw a reference lines on this 4 and 5, and similarly for 1 and 3, and similarly on 2. So this 4 and 5 you can draw a line which is parallel to R1 S1. Parallel to R1 S1, make it as line called T line. Next one as U. So next TUV. Next one on point 2 we are having V. This line we can mark a name as V line. So here you can see on T we are having 4 and 5. On U we are having 3, point number 3 and point number 1. So this has to be drawn exactly on 1 and 3 points. Somehow below this, there is a mistake here. You can check it clearly. This U has to be drawn exactly on this point 3 and point 1. So somehow below this U has to be drawn point 3 and point 1, and V line, in the V line we are having point 2. So you can draw these TUV3 lines, 3 reference lines in this top face. So from R, this is the side of R and Q. So here it is R and Q here. You can check it clearly. This is R and Q. You measure the distance of T line from R. This is the T blue line, which is measure the distance from R and convert into isometric scale and draw T line T from the top face. This is line T. Next one, you can measure the distance of U from R. Measure the distance of U from R, and from R again you can draw the U using isometric scale. Before that, being T line is completed, we know where it is 4 and 5. So from T, what is the distance of 4? You can measure using scale, convert into isometric scale and draw 4 here. So in the same T line we are having 5. You can measure the distance from T, and what is the distance of 5, convert into isometric scale and mark 5 here. So next is the line U. In the line U we are having 3 and 1. This line U has to be drawn exactly on the meeting points of 1 and 3. Here it is dislocated to point O. So while you are drawing, make sure that this U line must travel on point number 1 and point number 3. So now you can draw U line, and on U line, this is U line. In the U line we are having point number 3 and 1. How we drawn this U line is, from R you measure the distance of U. After drawing the measurement of a U line, now you can take 3.3 from U. What is the distance? You can convert it here. Similarly, point 1 is also on the U line. So we can convert point 1, 3, 4, 5 on this T and U line. Finally, it is 2. It is exactly on V. 2, which is exactly on V. So you can draw one more line which is from the RQ side. So from this is R and this is Q. In this side we are having V line. You can measure the distance either from R or either from Q. You can use that particular dimensions as isometric scale here and convert it into isometric scale. Now you can fix point 2 easily. On this line, that is the distance of point 2. From V, we can measure the distance of point 2, convert into isometric scale by multiplying point 8 2 times, mark point 2. Mark point 2. Now all the top face pentagon and bottom face pentagon is drawn, so we can join all the visible edges. So A to E boundaries, A to E, then A to B, B to C, B to C, and then C to D. Here this C to D is invisible for us because if you are as an observer standing here, I may not see this D. That's why it is not connected by means of continuous thick lines. Next is E to 5. Now you can check on O dash E dash we are having 5 dash. Also you can check in the top view. O, this is E, we are having 5. So we can join E and 5. E and 5 is the remaining portion. Similarly, A and 1. You can check in the top view here. This is A, this is 1 is the remaining portion. You can join A1. Likewise, we can join B and 2 and C and 3. C and 3. So as I said, as an observer, you are standing here, you may not see this D corner. You may not see this D corner. Now you can join all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No need to join D and 4. So you can join 1, 2, 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. So 5 to 4. All these corners you can join. All these identified cutting points of section plane. 5 to 4, 3 to 2, and 2 to 1, 1 to 5. So after joining all these cutting points of section plane, you can do a hatching in the topmost portion of the pentagon. So why we are doing the hatching, this is the cutting portion of the section plane. This is the section plane. After cutting the section plane, this is the exact shape of the pentagon we can see from the top view. So you can do the hatching for this section plane cutting portion by means of a thin lines. So we can do the hatching, and so after the completion of hatching, we can say this is our isometric projection of the frustum of the pyramid. So this is our final isometric projection of the frustum of the pyramid. Okay, so final answer of this question we obtained. This is the final answer of this question. So while you are drawing here, two things you have to be careful. First one, this in this video, in this particular session, this u point is dislocated from this 1 and 3. So while you are drawing, make sure that this u line, this u blue line must draw on the travel by traveling through this point 1 and point 3. So this has to be dislocated from this point. Next one, this is the true length. This rectangle is the true length. It has to be foreshortened here. Foreshortened means reduction in size. So for better understanding what I did, I extended this PSQR, but while you are drawing, it must be smaller than this rectangle. It must be smaller than this rectangle. Always remember, this P1S1 and P1Q1 must be 30-degree inclined to this parallel XY, parallel reference line. This P1S1 and P1Q1 must be equally inclined, 30-degree with this XY reference. Okay. Next, these are the two things you have to notice from this video. And if you like this video, if it is helpful for you, you can click like button, and then for further videos subscribe the channel. And if you have any queries or doubts regarding this particular question, you can ask through comment box. Thank you.